Assalamualaikum and good evening. My name is Harusdu, one of your reporters. Today, we are focused on a significant development in Malaysia economic landscape. The rationalization of fuel subsidies, a bold move by the Prime Minister Datuk Sri Anwar Ibrahim.
Fuel subsidies have been a hot topic in Malaysia. In 2022, the government has spent 52 billion ringgit on fuel subsidy, making up 74% of total subsidy.
Rising fuel prices have sparked public protest and discontent among citizens. Just on June 2024, Malaysians took to the streets to voice their frustrations over escalating cost of living, which were exacerbated by inefficient subsidy management.
Diesel ni benda yang penting lah untuk pengangkutan. Dia melibatkan harga. Harga barang, apa-apa barang pun melibatkan lori. So bila kita hantar tu, kalau ada kenaikan memang akan ada peningkatan harga lah.
With Prime Minister Anwar Ibrahim bold move to rationalize fuel subsidies, we will dive into the rationale behind this policy change. What does it mean for different stakeholders and how will it impact the economy? Join us as we explore these critical questions in the next segment.
Today, we explore the evolving issue of fuel subsidy in Malaysia. Let's begin by taking a look how fuel prices have shifted over the past decade. Back in July 2010, the prices of diesel was set RM1.70 per liter and RON95 was priced at RM1.75. And fast forward to December of the same year, and these prices already seen an increase, which RON95 reaching RM1.80 and diesel at RM1.85 per liter.
As we can see, Malaysia's expenditure on the budget has increased significantly over the years. In 2004, subsidies were a manageable part of the budget, but by 2010, they had grown substantially, particularly in the fuel sector.
To understand this issue better, let's break down the key terms. A fuel subsidy is a government measure to lower fuel costs for consumer by absorbing a portion of the price. Subsidy rationalization refers to the process of restructuring or reducing subsidies to ensure long-term fiscal health. Lastly, targeted subsidies aim to support specific groups, such as low-income households, to minimize the impact of rising fuel prices.
Our prices is the cheapest. I mean, Malaysian price is cheaper than even Saudi Arabia. So I concede things need to be done, but it has to be done judiciously.
In a recent interview at the Qatar Economic Forum, Malaysia Prime Minister Datuk Sri Anwar Ibrahim emphasized the need to cut wasteful government spending, particularly in fuel subsidies, in order to reduce the national debt. Things need to be done, but it must be done judiciously, he noted, acknowledging the importance of reform but stressing the need for careful implementation to avoid negative impacts on the public.
Okay, today I'm gonna ask someone opinion about the fuel subsidies and their impact. Excuse me, sir.
Yes.
Do you have a second?
Yeah.
May I ask you a question?
Sure.
Can you tell me what are the fuel subsidies and their impact?
In my opinion, fuel subsidies help us a lot, especially with the rising cost of living. Removing them would be difficult for families like mine.
And what about you?
I think subsidies should be better targeted. Not everyone needs them, and saving can go towards improving public service.
Okay, thank you for the opinion. As late of November 2024, Malaysia's fuel pricing landscape reflects a complex interplay of government subsidies and global oil market fluctuations. Currently, RON95 petrol is priced at RM2.05 per liter, while RON97 is at RM3.90. Diesel prices stand at RM2.95 per liter in Peninsular Malaysia and RM2.15 in East Malaysia. Looking back to June 2008, RON97 petrol was priced at RM2.70 per liter after a significant increase, with diesel at RM2.58. This marked a turning point as the government began adjusting prices more frequently based on market conditions.
In 2023, Malaysia's energy consumption was dominated by oil with 1.79 exajoules and natural gas was 1.66 exajoules. Fuel expenses vary across income groups with low-income households spending around 200 ringgit monthly on subsidized fuels, while middle-income household 400 ringgit monthly and high-income household exceeding 600 ringgit due to greater vehicle ownership.
Before reforms, about 6.5 million liters of diesel were misappropriated as smuggled daily, draining national resources and increasing costs for legitimate users. The government aims to rationalize these subsidies to ensure they benefit those in need. Foreign entities have exploited the system as well, with estimated 40% of petrol consumption linked to the non-citizens and illegal activities.
The third issue is pricing issue reflected in the recent chart illustrating how rising subsidies costs are increasingly crowding out essential public services such as education, healthcare, and infrastructure. This trend has significant implications for economic governance and public welfare.
Infrastructure is another critical area impacted by rising subsidies. Insufficient investment in roads, bridges, and public transport can stifle economic growth by limiting access to a market and reducing overall efficiency. A well-functioning infrastructure system is vital for attracting investment and facilitating trade.
In a country where fuel prices fluctuate weekly, the impact on everyday life is profound. So today, we hear from ordinary Malaysians about their struggles amid rising costs and economic uncertainty.
Every week, I check the petrol price. It's stressful. 1 week, it costs 2 ringgit and 5 cents per liter. Next, it could go up. It affects my earning monthly and my family.
I have to budget carefully. With this full price rising, I find it hard to make the ends meet. So as a single mother too, I am worried about my children's future.
Fuel is a major part of my expenses. When prices go up, I must increase my price too. It's a vicious cycle.
The first one, of course, is to reduce cost. So the second purpose is to help B40 and M40 communities. And then the third reason is to stop leakages from diesel smuggling and high costs of subsidy bill. So it caused public protest for potential public discontent to subside before the next general election by 2028. The second challenge could be the high cost of subsidy. But overall, the cost of subsidy is still there. And then the third challenge will be from the public. The government, you see, provide subsidized diesel for the 33 commercial vehicles that I mentioned just now. Then the government provide financial aid to people who are affected by the diesel subsidy rationalization. This include farmers, small business owners, and individual diesel owners. And the individual can do so through Budi Madani, imposed targeted diesel subsidy to avoid sudden price shock and social unrest. In long term, the government need to continue to support the oil and gas industry, as the oil and gas industry at the moment generates revenue and job opportunities in Malaysia. The demand for fuel may drop in the future and may bring a significant impact to the price and sales of petrol in Malaysia.
According to Economy Minister Rafizi Ramli, the government is mulling a two-tier price system for the country's most widely used fuel, so that the wealthiest 15% pay the market rate for RON 95 petrol, while the rest enjoy the current subsidized price. Large targeted fuel subsidy reforms. The government is replacing universal gasoline subsidies with targeted financial aid for low and middle income households. This move is aimed at helping those most affected, such as families and businesses heavily reliant on diesel for transportation and operations.
Next, a public awareness campaign to build trust. A public awareness campaign is being rolled out to explain the reason behind the subsidy changes. Officials are assuring citizens that saving from the subsidy cuts will be reinvested into important social programs addressing concern and building trust in the reforms. In addition, the government has plans to prepare to handle problems and challenges in the future which could have an impact on rising inflation.
The first effect of the spending on subsidy is still higher than it's ever been. The fuel subsidy were the main cause of two-folded increases subsidy spending of 77.9 billion in 2023. The subsidy increases to 25% of the government overall operating expenditure in 2023 after surging beyond the historical average in 2022.
Sorry, could we have a brief conversation?
Yes, sure.
Okay, could you tell me what do you think about the rationalization of the fuel subsidies?
As far as I'm aware that the government efforts to rationalize the gasoline subsidy scheme is to improve the social justice and fiscal sustainability.
Okay, thank you. Hello, excuse me.
Yes.
Could you explain what the fuel subsidies actually mean?
In my opinion, fuel subsidy rationalization involves shifting from universal subsidies to target support, ensuring assistance reach those who need it most, such as low and middle income families.
Excuse me, sir. Have you noticed how the diesel prices have skyrocketed since the government started rationalizing the fuel subsidies?
Yes.
What do you think about it?
In my opinion, I seen a significant increase in my operating costs. Diesel prices jumped from RM 2 ringgit 50 cents to RM 3 ringgit and 35 cents per liter. It's tough for small business like mine that rely on delivery services.
The food subsidy rationalization in Malaysia has excited contrasting opinions from various stakeholders, reflecting a complex interplay of economic, social, and political considerations. Prime Minister Anwar Ibrahim has called subsidy rationalization essential to address the growing financial strain through blanket subsidies, which often benefit higher income groups. He stressed that estimated the 4 billion ringgit saved annually will be redirected to social assistance programs for the needy, ensuring greater fairness and equity. The rationalization is endorsed by the Social and Economic Research Initiative as a fair strategy that may eventually lessen emissions and reliance on fossil fuels. In order to guarantee that all impacted entities, especially small enterprises, receive sufficient help and compensation throughout these transitions, they emphasize the significance of good implementation techniques.
Rationalizing fuel subsidies is indeed a bold move, but with thoughtful planning, transparent implementation, and community support, Malaysia can navigate this change. It's a step towards a more equitable and sustainable future, one where every ringgit saved strengthens the country's foundation for the generations to come.
I think
Ahora